everyone, and welcome back to another episode of GP Notebook TV. My name is Lisa Devine and I'm a GP in Wicklow in the Republic of Ireland. I'm delighted to make a video today about an article written over here in Ireland, but which I think has relevance across many geographical areas. This article has been published in the European Journal of Paediatrics and is titled "The incidence of type 1 diabetes in children under 15 years of age is rising again, a nationwide study." The authors started by noting that type 1 diabetes, a chronic autoimmune condition, has been rising globally for many decades, although the exact reasons for this remain unclear. In the past 3 decades, different countries have experienced different patterns of diabetes incidence increasing, plateauing or stabilising, which is quite fascinating, as a range of environmental triggers, including viruses, obesity, and a lack of vitamin D have all been postulated to contribute to varying trends. The article suggests that monitoring changes in the incidence of type 1 diabetes internationally is important, as it may help shed light on the elusive mechanism triggering this poorly understood disease. For me personally, it's a reminder that while the ongoing care of type 1 diabetes in Ireland is delivered mostly in secondary care, the first presentation of type 1 diabetes is tricky and easily missed, and this can occur at any point in the healthcare system. So rising rates are certainly of interest from that point of view. In this study, the authors sought to determine the incidence rate of type 1 diabetes in children in Ireland under the age of 15 in the period of 2019 to 2021 and compare it with the annual incidence data of the Irish Childhood Diabetes National Register to confirm what our rates over here in Ireland are doing. So what did they do in this study? Well, the authors collected and verified data sent from 19 paediatric centres caring for children with type 1 diabetes to the Irish Childhood Diabetes National Register. This data included overall incidence, age, sex and seasonality of diagnosis. So what did they find? They found that in the 3-year period from 2019 to 2021, a total of 1,027 children under the age of 15 years of age were diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. This represented an increase in incidence rates of 21% overall from 2019 to 2021. They also found, interestingly, that there was no significant sex difference between the cases. And the authors did note that this small detail was actually important and slightly unusual because autoimmune conditions tend to be more prevalent in females. They also noted an increase in children being diagnosed at an earlier age. The 5 to 9 year age group was particularly noted. One interesting fact was observed in the article, which is that this data related to the time of the COVID-19 pandemic, where in Ireland older children wore face masks to school, but younger children didn't have to. It's possible, therefore, that older children were protected from viral triggers compared with younger children. When they looked at the season of diagnosis, they found that the majority of cases were first diagnosed in autumn and winter in 2019 and 2020. Strangely, this changed in 2021, with less cases diagnosed in autumn and winter and an increase in children diagnosed in spring. The authors felt that the differences in seasonal pattern were likely influenced by societal restrictions, as school closures imposed during the COVID-19 pandemic may have played a role. During school closures, the number of children diagnosed appeared lower, and on relaxation of restrictions, the number of cases increased. The article also discussed the potential impact of vitamin D deficiency on the population. Given Ireland's geographical position at 53 degrees north of the equator, vitamin D insufficiency is well recognised in our population, particularly amongst adolescents. And while present, is unlikely to have worsened markedly during the time periods, either from 2011 to 2021. While data on the presence of childhood obesity in the group studied was not recorded, it is mentioned in the discussion. The authors note that childhood overweight and obesity is a major problem in the Irish population, potentially increasing pressure on pancreatic insulin production. The official rate of children living with overweight or obesity in Ireland has been stable at approximately 20% from 2015 to 2019. However, recent unpublished government reports suggest that there was an increase in overweight and obesity of 5% due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which is certainly an interesting statistic. Whatever the cause of this increase in type 1 diabetes here in Ireland, like many countries, we are experiencing a significant increase in cases. And in primary care, this is an area that we can make most difference by assisting with the prompt pickup of the condition. If children attend us with suggestive symptoms such as polydipsia, polyuria, thirst, weight loss, or enuresis in a previously toilet-trained child, we need to be on the lookout. It can also present atypically with symptoms suggesting UTI, and as diabetic ketoacidosis develops, even abdominal pain and shortness of breath can be presenting symptoms. If we can diagnose type 1 diabetes before the emergency presentation of diabetic ketoacidosis, we can improve long-term outcomes. So this really is something which is worth keeping in mind. Overall, I have to say I really enjoyed this article, which raised my awareness of the increasing levels of type 1 diabetes globally and in my region, and I found taking the time to read it to be extremely worthwhile. I hope you have found this short video worthwhile also, and I look forward to seeing you again soon on GP Notebook TV.